Blues music developed in the late 1800s. Slavery was over, supposedly, by 1865. But the situation that changed when slavery was over, let's imagine it. For instance, it's 1865, and we're on the plantation. Now, everybody in this room is a slave, and I own the plantation. So I'm going to come up to you because I know that Sherman's army is about to march in. They've already passed through town, and they're coming one plantation after another. And basically, you know, if we don't turn over and give up the notion of slaves, as it were, and you know, then I'll be brought to submission. So I want to make a deal with you today because the army's coming, and I kind of need to make a deal with you. The South is going to be defeated, so the deal that's entered into is called sharecropping. And the way that sharecropping would work would be, okay, so far, for generations, you have worked for me for nothing. But today, you're free. So this is a good day, right? This is a good day. Today is the day that you discover freedom. But today is also the day where I get in front of you and tell you, well, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? You can start walking. You can walk for 2 days. Where are you going to get? You're only going to get a few plantations away with the size of the plantations. And who are those people? Those are the people that I go to church with. Those are my friends that come over for visits a few times a year. So you think they're going to give you a job? No, they're not. So I'm going to offer you sharecropping. You stay here and do the same work you've already done for all this time, only now you get 50% of the profits. This sounds like a good deal, right? You've been working for nothing, now you're going to get 50% of the profits. So, people got convinced to do this. Now a year goes by, and now here we find ourselves the next year. Now since this all happened just after we had finished taking in the cotton for that last year, then you've been working for the rest of this year doing all the various chores that need to be done in preparation for the harvest. And now it's harvest time again, and now you come and collect your 50% that's owed to you. Let's just say that you and your family have a section. You've been looking after 100 acres. You've been working communally with everybody else, but you've been responsible for 100 acres there yourselves. And the profit coming in there, just hypothetically, let's say it's $500. That's a rather high figure for the time, but let's just say it's $500. Well, your share then is $250, right? Except that, you see, last year when I set you free, I let you know that free people have to pay rent. You can't just stay in a place for no money. So I've been charging you $10 a month for rent, and you owe that to me plus interest after this year. So let's say that's 120, let's not even count the interest in yet. And then I also set up a store out of the goodness of my heart. I set up a plantation store on the plantation so that you can buy the supplies that you need. Now, over the course of the year, you spent, let's say, $125. Well, that puts you $5 over, and then I add the interest, something nice and, out of the goodness of my heart, I only charge you, say, 50% interest. So, of course, what I've done is I put you in a situation where a year later, you owe money. That makes you an indentured slave, and you're right back where you started. I say, work a little harder next year, spend a little less, and you might get out of this. And the power structure doesn't shift. Because if there's one ugly thing about people, is that humans don't share power too willingly. They certainly don't turn it over. And it's the same true for human nature to this day. All over the world we see it happening. So the reason I dwell on this right now is it's important to try to get the context of how this music came about. It was a way of rising above. It was a way to sing in the fields, to sing work songs, was a way of surviving.